Good afternoon, CFM. It's Coach Matt. It's one of my favorite days of the week. It's Flex Friday. So we are going to get into a relatively high volume pushing, pulling, chest and arm and shoulder workout. These are a fantastic way to lead off into the weekend. The goal of these is building hypertrophy, which is muscle building, as well as muscle endurance. And one of the things that you can do on these ones that we usually prescribe sets, reps. There's very discrete numbers that we want you to hit. If anytime you want to go greater than on these ones, like if you're just starting to feel the burn when you get to 16 reps of the tricep extension and you want to get even more, then feel free to add 5 or 8 reps to the end of a set in order to really exhaust the muscles. Just recognize what that's going to do as you follow on. So the percentages, anytime we do a bench press percentage in the midst of a Flex Friday like this, it's going to be negotiable because there is a compound effect of all the other stuff that we're doing. So you may not be able to increase in percentage on your bench press the way that you would on a normal day when we were just doing a pure strength workout. So it is totally up and down how much weight you can actually move, and you'll be surprised at how incredibly difficult and extremely lightweight can feel at the end of a workout like this. But that is the exact point. That is the goal. It is not to make you feel weak for lifting a light weight. It is to make you feel that like muscle exhaustion, which helps to build muscle endurance and actual muscle. Okay, so don't worry about the weight so much. Worry about the feeling, the movement, and slamming all these things together to maximize the amount of fatigue that you get in your chest, arms, shoulders. Okay, so let's start with a warm-up. 3 minutes, your choice, warm-up pace cardio. Then we'll go to the ground for some scorpion stretches. So try to wrap your leg all the way back around behind you, get as close to your hand as you can, and then we're going to go into 20-second seal pose or seal stretch, and then hips up for a 20-second down dog, and then we're going to do some pigeon taps. Pigeon taps are next. So staying with the hands planted and reaching one leg up underneath you, stretch out that hip just a little bit, and then I want you to pop up and land with the other one underneath just the same, right? So a little quickness drill for the hip flexors as well as the glutes and the piriformis there that get stretched out when you do it. Okay, next we're gonna go a little bit of shoulder prehab work, band face pulls. So take a nice light band and palms facing down, pulling it over the top of your head, trying to keep those elbows at about 90 degrees as you go over the top of your head. So as I pull, I want to make sure I'm not closing my elbows off like this or pushing them out too far. I want them to be right at 90 and just barely clear your head with the top of your head with that band. Every round, I want you to set something up. So you do your first round and then maybe set up your bench press, right? Then do another round, set up your dumbbells or your bands for the curls and the tricep extensions. And then do a couple test reps of bench press. You should be able to knock out the bench press right fresh out of the warm-up because the percentage will be relatively light and we're only going up a little bit, but the number of reps that we've got on the set of bench press is relatively high. So make sure you guys have spotters. You do not need to feel like you're for time or that you're on a clock for any of this, but I would like for you to try to compress the rest in between the different exercises while still maintaining safety and spotting your classmates when necessary. Okay, so reading off the list, and you're going to do 4 sets of bench, but you're only going to do 3 of the giant Flex Friday sets. Okay, so at the end of the whole thing, I want you to do 1 more set of 10 reps of bench press, so you get 4 total rounds of bench. So 16, 14, 12, and 10 on the bench press. After the first 3 sets of bench press, we're going to go to the ground for a little spine exercise, a curl up. So this is actually a good time. You're resting your chest and your triceps right now. So I've got my hands propped up underneath my back, so my belly's pushing away from the ground, big gap in between my spine and the ground, and I'm going to flex the muscles in my spine and pull myself up like so, and then relax back down. Okay, flex, pull myself to neutral, and then relax back down. That is our curl up. We're gonna do 8 reps of that. Next one, dumbbell chest fly. So got my 2 dumbbells. These can be moderate weights up to 35, 40 pounds is a pretty challenging weight for this. Some of you guys can do even more. Arms slightly bent and then pulling them together, touching the dumbbells together at the top, trying to think elbows out to the sides when I do this. So I feel it primarily in my chest. I want to make sure that I'm not turning the dumbbells to the ground like this, right? It totally changes where I feel the weight. Turn those dumbbells up like that, so it's like I'm bear hugging a barrel, right? And then the dumbbells can go back down. Then I'll do like my band. This is my arm complex. Tricep extension and bicep curl. So tricep extension is elbows opening, right? I'm tucking my elbows tight to my body, and then you can either use a band, stand on top of the band, do that opposite movement, or you can use 2 dumbbells and do a double dumbbell hammer curl, 20 reps of a dumbbell curl like so, or a band curl. The last one is back to core, 16 reps of a V sit-up like so, hinging the body up off the ground, and then rest to breath recovery. And then again, after you finish the 3rd round, you're gonna do 1 more set of 10 reps of bench press, trying to escalate the weight as we go through. But remember, that's not a hard and fast rule. In fact, you may find yourself unable to complete the set of 12 after you've done the 2 rounds through, and you gotta go down in weight, all right? So just use a challenging weight, try to get through an unbroken, but don't lash yourself unnecessarily to a specific weight just because it is the percentage I gotta do today, right? Today is less about percentages and it is more about muscle exhaustion and feeling the movements, okay? Have a great one. I'll see you for a fun partner workout tomorrow.